glad you brought up ActionScript, because then that brings up the whole, what Adobe is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a lot of movement at Adobe in terms of like what's, they're very conscious of what Microsoft are doing. I've spoken with some of the Adobe people, and I see those guys at their conferences and these guys at their conferences. Are they two different things? Is Silverlight completely different than Flash? Can you talk?
Well,
on that?
yeah. I own stock in both companies. Adobe's done really well for me.
Right. This isn't a bash.
No.
Learn education.
Here's the thing. Previously, the only choice people had, besides HTML and Ajax, if they want to have a great user experience, was Flash. The problem is Flash, as a technology and as a platform, is kind of showing its age. Silverlight being built more recently, we're able to take advantage of a lot of great technology, but also bring to the table the core group, the language platform. But Microsoft has a long way to go. But at least there's now a choice. If you've got existing .NET developers on staff, it's easy. If you've got some high-def video, you've got pictures that you want to have a great experience with Deep Zoom, the choice is easy. But more importantly, I think you'll see that Microsoft as a platform company, they're going to get there. They have a great platform. Adobe, as a solution for graphic design tools, they kind of came into Flash from a different angle, and so you have to think about which direction you're going to come in from. I mean, look at Sun with Java. They created a language, but a language alone is not enough to build a complete platform around. You've seen a lot. We saw 5 years ago a lot of the J2 vendors kind of come and go, eventually be bought or snapped up. Now it's pretty much one game in town with IBM. And so I don't know if the same thing's going to happen, but it's competitive. It's great. It's certainly keeping Microsoft busy. And I have Photoshop on my laptop. I still run all their tools. I was pimping Lightroom. It's great stuff. But when it comes to it, my guys don't do ActionScript.
Right. Okay.
We know .NET, so this is great for us.
What do you think of the whole the mobile platform? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Silverlight running on mobile is pretty cool, actually. It's another example of the .NET platform coming out and running on different devices. So you've got mobile, you've got web, you've got Windows, you have the Surface PC, you've got tablet. It's one set of knowledge for the engineers that can be purposed across different platforms, which is great. Now you still have to design the experience that best works for that platform. Mobile's not the same as web's not the same as Windows, but at the core, we can be productive on all.
Right. So Vertigo, where do you guys go from here? Are you pitching yourself, I should say pitching yourself, as a services company to large enterprises, or?
Here's the thing, we're kind of picky about the work we do. Honestly, there's so much.
That's a great problem. That's a great problem to have.
I don't mean it, and it's probably going to sound really bad, but there is so much of the same kind of application being built where there's a web page, you authenticate, there's a whole section for your login, you are basically creating a product for an end user to do CRUD data, create, read, update, delete on records and sorting and filtering and doing reports. Those kinds of applications will go away because that is not letting the human that's using the computer add any value or insight to the business process. You're basically gluing records together. So we want to get to a point where the software that we build is generating a different kind of business value, or the flip side is the user experience. And for the companies that want to be on that cutting edge, and it truly is cutting edge. We launched Hard Rock the day that Silverlight 2 became available. For the companies that want to push the envelope with what they can do, it's great. For an HR payroll application, no. You don't need to. I mean, there's other established technology. But if you want to build, challenge yourself because your customers are going to challenge you. And if you're not challenging yourself to build a better application, you have some competition come along that will do it. They will refactor your business because the cost of switching in certain business models is very, very low for the consumer. So they will go. Same thing if you're targeting other businesses. So the pace of change is so fast in this technology that you have to embrace this wave of technology that's coming. The safety net is the fact that Microsoft has a core, solid platform and strategy, and it's been with us. It's made us successful. Really, everything's .NET.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
And now you guys have been on the bleeding edge of everything. Obviously, when I was at the Mix conference, there was a big hush-hush about what you guys were gonna display. You displayed the Hard Rock demo, which was amazing. You displayed the slideshow and the sandboxing. That was really cool as well. You got cool stuff coming, or?
Yeah, we do.
What should we be on the lookout for?
Well, the DNC is going to be the next big thing, and that is going to usher in a whole new world of streaming or live video. Imagine the amount of high-def live streaming video, especially imagine sports, for example, and what the business model. And they have this great brand in sports, the major sporting events in the U.S. Top-tier brands. There's an advertising pipeline or revenue that's being funneled to the television, but in terms of the opportunity for broadcasting that same content over the internet and the kind of metrics that can be captured, or the kind of targeting for advertising, I'll tell you, man, advertising is running a lot. It's running a lot, and so for those clients that are sitting on some core intellectual property, whether or not you own the rights to broadcast MLS soccer, or you're Hard Rock and you've got this amazing intellectual property, or you're Ben Sherman, a clothing manufacturer, and you've got some high-end clothing and you want to give a distinctive user experience. I'm just picking random stuff. Then those people must be challenged by their shareholders or their CEOs or their boards to push to do things that are again, it's just pushing the envelope, because someone else is going to come along and do it better.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just read today, Mark Cuban, and I think it was Scoble or someone were mentioning that YouTube is talking about pushing out to 30 minutes again, realizing that Hulu has sort of stolen their thunder to some extent with advertising. These short 5-minute clips of these kids doing skateboard tricks, they don't pay off. It's not compelling for advertising versus a longer sort of experience. And do you see these old, I hate to call them old industries, like using advertising in this sort of dynamic sort of way and effective way? I mean, how do you see that?
Well, I think it's still. There are a lot of smart people in the advertising space figuring this out right now. You've got a lot of the traditional print advertising firms that have seen a lot of success with the flash world and what you can do around print or advertising through the web, taking their existing clients, bringing them to the web, and then you have the video world of broadcast also coming to the web. And then you have the rich internet applications that we're building also coming to the web, and we're all meeting in the central spot around Silverlight. And then you've got the funnel of advertising spend, which honestly, the business on the internet's great, but it's a very small piece compared to the global economy here. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's very fungible, but it's not the end all be all. But I think it's very exciting. It's yet to be played out. The IAB just recently ratified the video formats, so that's still new. Is figuring how we get video in there. But at the end of the day, someone has to pay the bill. So either we're paying it by advertising supported, or there's a subscription model, whatever. Those models have clearly been defined, and we're just kind of used to it, So,
well,
yeah, it's good.
I know you're hungry, and it's about time for Mexican
It's
food.
beer time.
And beer time. So thanks for the mic. Great. And where can we find you?
Downstairs on the 4th floor with Mexican food.
Oh.
Vertigo. Yeah, vertigo.com. I'm Scott at vertigo.com. It's pretty easy. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.